For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin is the best. Listen up. NewsSpin is the best. Me say listen up massive. NewsSpin is the best, yeah. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show all across the world. Check the signal, it blaze up the airwave. NewsSpin on your radio, hear me now. Tune in the frequency, come along, Junior. NewsSpin a vice up the play. NewsSpin is the best. Listen to the massive. NewsSpin is the best. Knowledge must abound. NewsSpin is the best. Fancy mount knock a play way. NewsSpin is the best. Papa Bond, yeah, by team, all man. A crappy land, all across the globe. Echoes of voices, we join in hand. Harmony rising with the afternoon sun. Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the world. The true facts about Sophia volcano, Sandy Beach, banana and Sneem Mango. Voices from the chat room, the capital Castries Hills. We feel you warm Caribbean breeze, teaching the truth, making hearts feel ease. Knowledge must open up every mind. Learn about your island home. We leave no one behind. NewsSpin for your radio. Pull up the Fryun J. NewsSpin for your radio. Pull up your seats. Afternoon time. NewsSpin for your radio. Come along. NewsSpin for your radio. Let the message strong.
Remember Don Lockerbie. Reference will be made to him during the course of the broadcast. Also coming up, a warning coming from the head of the National Taxi Union. We'll also be hearing from the island's minister with responsibility for tourism regarding Uber, and a whole lot more between now and 2 o'clock on this, the most monitored talk show in the world. It is on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Don't forget our usual request. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. In a bit, your calls at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Shantae is here. She's already going through your comments in the chat rooms, and she'll be providing us with some updates. Don Lockerbie, a consultant whose services were sought and obtained by the previous United Workers' Party administration, and that is to upgrade sporting facilities on the island. And there was talk by the then opposition SLP that the administration of Alan Chastanet had given him a contract of a little over $30 million. That was denied then, but still remains an issue of contention, and it was also highlighted during a sitting of the Senate on Tuesday, raised by the leader of government, Minister Alison Jean, and taking offense is the leader of opposition business, Mr. Dominic Fede. Let's listen to Mr. Jean.
This afternoon, I don't know that the National Lotteries Authority got a beating. I believe the $80 million guarantee that was approved in this House, in this Parliament for the NLA really strike a nerve. But Mr. President, it was in the same vein that one person got $32 million for upgrading of sports facilities. AstroTurf was placed on sporting facilities, and somebody outside of St. Lucia, who resides outside of St. Lucia, got $32 million. Emergency.
Senator Fede.
Mr. President, I rise on the point of order. There is nobody that got $32 million to put AstroTurf on playing fields while I was there. This is a complete misrepresentation of the truth by Senator Jean. The gentleman that I think she's referring to is Mr. Lockerbie, who had a contract for $1 million to implement and coordinate with different contractors in St. Lucia, $30 million of work which went into the Soufriere playing field, the Dereso playing field, the Mikud playing field, 2 playing fields in Denrace, all over St. Lucia. There's no one person who got that. The senator needs to withdraw that. Please, I don't want to interrupt her presentation, but she must speak the truth.
Again, so I'm just trying to understand. So your point of order is you're saying that she's misleading the House.
She said one man outside of St. Lucia. If it's not Don Lockerbie, then who is?
Fair enough, Senator Jean, please.
Mr. President, playing fields were upgraded. Well, not upgraded, because some of them we can use them for other purposes. No cricket or anything. A man was paid $32 million. Where was the emergency?
No, sir.
Did COVID affect the playing fields?
Mr. President, she would have to provide the facts. The stand of order, she needs to withdraw that.
Hold a minute.
That is not...
Just a minute. I can't have both of you on your feet at the same time. Senator Fede, let me hear your point of order, please.
Senator Mr. Deputy President, by stating that an individual has received $32 million to implement playing fields is wrong. is non-factual, and I ask the senator to present the substantive documents to show us that that is true.
So let me understand. Let me just make sure I understand. So you're not disputing that $32 million was spent?
No. But
Your
it was not
dispute,
given
just
to-
a second. Your dispute is that it was not given to a single individual.
Outside of St. Lucia, that is also two things. She said $32 million was given to a single individual who lived outside of St. Lucia. $1 million was given to an individual to coordinate an amalgamation of different contracts, which went to different contractors in St. Lucia at $32 million.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Shah.
18 million.
Thank you. Senator Fede's objection is that it is incorrect to say that $32 million was given to a single or paid to a single individual. Are you disputing that, or do you accept that that is in fact the case?
Mr. President, a contract was awarded to an individual for $32 million. If Senator Fede has a different
So, no, the point...
individual
Yes,
for
no.
$1 million, because I have not mentioned the individual's name. So if he knows of another $1 million, then he will present his $1 million. I am referring to a $32 million contract.
And Senator Fede, I believe...
So
just
Senator
now,
Fede
to
doesn't even know who I'm speaking
Just
about.
a second, to preempt his next... Because he's going to jump up and ask you to make it a document at the House. Are you willing to make...
I have not mentioned any...
You have mentioned a contract. He's going to ask you to make the contract a document of the House.
He will get it. When he comes back here, he will get it.
Leader of government operations in government business, in the Senate. You just heard there from Senator Alison Shaw. Obfuscation. It's clear that the previous administration gave Lockerbie a contract for $1 million over 2 million EC, and that is to upgrade various sporting facilities on the island. The budget was a little over $32 million. Straightforward. Yesterday we got a call on the broadcast. Somebody has accused the Ministry of Agriculture of transferring one problem from the north to the south of the island. Let's listen. We have a call in line via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to the listeners.
Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I would like to express my disquiet. I am very upset at the recent decision that this government has taken with regard to us in Beaufort South. I think you are aware, they have relocated the stray cattle, which has been a nuisance in the Shock area, north of the island. They have now transferred those animals to Kokodan in Beaufort South. Now, what I am asking, Tim, is that what we deserve in Beaufort South? Don't forget, this is the same government, this administration. They denied us a brand new airport in Beaufort. They stopped that project.
Okay, but caller, how is the relocation affecting you or people in the south of the island? How is that affecting you?
Because you're transferring a problem, Tim, and it does not bring any benefit in terms of employment to Beaufort. Why Beaufort? I am making the contrast. I'm trying to show you why it is that we could do better than bringing cattle to Beaufort. They stopped the state-of-the-art St. George Hospital, the new St. George. They went back to the old 80-year-old building. They stopped the home porting, even the racetrack. That would bring all these things would have benefited us more than bringing stray cattle to Beaufort. But what I think what is happening here, Tim, and I am suggesting, I don't think that the SLP would have ever, the elders, let's so-called elders in the party, they would never have suggested that bringing those animals down here during the tenure of Dr. Anthony. He would not stand for it, as bad as a representative that he was. So I think they are bullying the rookie rep, Danny Butcher. And what I would want Danny Butcher to tell us now, did he have any input? What was his input in that decision being taken to bring those stray animals to Viewfort? What are the terms and conditions of bringing those animals into Viewfort? You know, this is not a good decision for us in Viewfort. They just dump in everything that is not profitable, everything that is not good up north, they bring it to us in the south. And I am very, very upset about that, Tim. That is my contribution for today.
One thing I have to mention is that I noticed in the comments on Facebook that people are concerned that we are just going to transport cattle from the north to the south, which can pose in their minds a further nuisance to the south. But that is not the case. The area is very secure, it is enclosed, and it is away from the highway.
You just heard there from Minister with responsibility for agriculture in St. Lucia, Lisa Jarayer, and before her, you heard from a NewsSpin caller. Why the north-south divide? The cattle had to be relocated from the shock area to somewhere in St. Lucia. We couldn't have taken it to Mars, Venus, or some other planet. It had to be relocated to some part of St. Lucia. As long as everything was done to properly secure the cattle, to ensure that they're well taken care of, I see no problem with the relocation from the shock area to the south of St. Lucia. Let me hear from you right now at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call on the line. Hello. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon, sir.
Tim, your previous caller, I'm trying to understand how transferring the cows from shock to Viewfort is transferring the problem. If the animals are properly secured in Viewfort and you're not running across the road like they are in Castries, I'm trying to understand. The caller never clarified how it's a problem in Viewfort. You understand what I'm saying, Tim?
That's the point of view I just shared a while ago. But the comment was made. The comment was made yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'm only now hanging it. So yes, that's what we want. Clarify the thing properly. If they take the cows from Castries and they put them in Viewfort and they're running around the Viewfort the same way, then they've actually transferred the problem. But if the animals are properly secured in Viewfort, what is the problem? Viewfort has a lot more space to keep those animals. I mean, at one point we had bus issue down there where a lot of our local processed milk was being processed in Viewfort.
Yes.
So what's the problem? Some of us need to stop you see that politics? That's cheap politics thing. Okay? That's cheap politics and it needs to stop. Tell us how the problem has been transferred and then we'll understand what you're saying. But if the animals are secured properly in Viewfort, then there's no problem. What's the issue? Really? Thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much. Somebody says there in the chat room, and Tim, V4 was the best place. Is that what you're saying, Tim? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That if the place is properly secured, if the animals are taken care of, I see no problem with them being relocated from the north to the south. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message to go through, and somebody says there, St. Lucians, look for it, take it now. The mood is red, now the mood is stagnant. That's a WhatsApp message. Another one says that, Tim, can you imagine where this would go if Claudius was sitting during this debate between Dr. Jean and Mr. Fede? That's how professional and natural Claudius should be. I can't wait for the day Claudius is not part of any sitting. And that is according to a WhatsApp message. Let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to the rest of the world. Kim, I am very happy they brought those cows down south. And to make Viewfort even too close, they should have been somewhere in Choiseul. Clinton has made top Gwen and Leshimesa, comme si c'est lui qui gouvernement bête. Moun ha mort pour la petite c'est bête Clinton. Machine moun a croisé. La nuit moun qui prend chance. Drive machine yo sans insurance. souhait pour mener à l'autre côté pour travailler les demain. Because you savent que police c'est tout pour you travailler. Vous comprenez? So, ma yo manière moi quand ça compte et dit bagay nous pas vle casser nous ka mener des son before. Kim ça c'est une bonne décision et moi donc si on m'a demandé qui côté pour me before qu'on a dit à soit veille pour te qui plus loin en pays cette ici. Clinton il est pour
Bon, last que non bougla, on dit 2 fois. Ou ka dit 3 fois. Last que non bougla, last que non.
Comme ça, maintenant vient la main pour nous là. Vient bête. It is real nice. It is real nice. Moi quand me anti en Liban, mais ça c'est moi qui a pris là. Autant il est et c'est pas des pousseurs ou ça. La canne chien en lèche mais tim moi fil depuis un moun pas ni devant la porte ou pas ni qui manière pour ça pour 15 animaux chien ou pas supposé ni ou pas mieux chien qui doit là Dieu savana qui fait ça il
bon ça moi d'accord et pour because un bœuf montant tellement cher l'année bœuf de l'air pour 6-7 000 $. Et que just ni bœuf ka tout partout en choc ou pas père moun voler ou pas père moto ka croiser ou pas père immo ou just pamela ou just ni bœuf tout partout là quoi non ça pas de bon pièce
il quoi c'est moi qui fait paix
mais pas couiller non
non nous bail non non camarade bon point ouais camarade bon point Monsieur dit si un moun vole bête les moun enlever tête yo ka ouais du bout là et puis fusil et puis contre là il a yo obligé qui de bête là et courir comme si c'est un bagaille un spirit engagé et ben moi vle descendre vieux et comme même si bête ça mais
il était là un moun couiller m'a dit il était là de Monday I got about Beffley because either I got des places là il I got des places là côté you can me Beffley
c'est bon pour les puisque tous les jours madame vous prenez des autres un truck side inside cassé plutôt pour les une des autres comment ça va anyway bon puisque où est distance dans bête là si pas ça point 3 jours 4 jours avant il y a eu des pluies so il n'y pour descendre la mettre gaz on a daily basis pour regarder about it because nous les venus pour ligne viennent bête janvier papa un qui a les gens comment il ça souvent comment il vient d'être souvent donc c'est mon qui ni restaurant là commencer gamer cause because la can vient d'être souvent bonne journée.
Who aussi, merci pour vous. Thank you so much. Somebody says via WhatsApp, the doctor's cows around the George Odlum Stadium Hospital and causing enough drama yet. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another WhatsApp message, and the person says, and asking a question, Team YV4, why couldn't they secure them in Castries? They are using the virgin grounds of V4, which can be used for any investment. They fought against these investments and gave us cows. 4522979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Tim referenced the caller yesterday on the cows in V4. Your question was, how does this impact the move? He did not tell you, but even with the hoodsmen in control, when making the twice daily crossing at the Kokodan crossing could cause accidents. Not all cows would cross together. There could be strays or stragglers. A WhatsApp message. We have another call, this time via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, ma'am.
Your new assistant's name, I don't really remember.
Jante,
that's cute, that's different. Good afternoon to Jante, and good afternoon, St. Lucia. Timothy, I don't understand the way people are thinking in St. Lucia, at least a couple of the callers. Somebody just called and said,
yes,
did away with this project, they did away with that project, they put in the cows in an area where there could be investment. They took all these other things away, and now they're bringing us cows. But do the people understand that if they themselves invested in cows and raised them and sold the meat, they would be working for themselves and they would be better off? Don't they get that? Don't they understand that bananas is what educated a lot of people? It was agriculture. The people were working for themselves. They weren't working for anybody. That's what they should be thinking. Talking about investment, what, another hotel? Come on. Timothy, Viewfort was always the place where cows grazed, you know. Viewfort was where we had the dairy farm. My greatest critique of DSH was that we had the abattoir right there. We could have enclosed the area, grazed the cows, bring back the dairy farm, and guess what? We wouldn't be importing expensive-ass milk. We're not thinking about what's going to make everybody better, what's going to make the country better. We're not thinking about how we have to prepare ourselves to prevent ourselves from being overtaken by whatever is going to be sent to us to take care of. Meanwhile, those in government are probably getting, what, 160, whatever it is, 1,600, whatever it is per head for everybody that they're looking after. We're not taking care of us. Government is not taking care of us. The people are not taking care of themselves because they're not thinking in a way that's going to assist them long term. Everybody's thinking for the now. Well, the now is pretty messed up if you're paying attention. So what's going to happen for the tomorrow? I think it's a good idea that they've encased the cows. I think the owner of the cows should bear that cost. Government was good enough to find them a location. They're carrying on a business. Hire a few young fellas, teach them how to take care of the cows, how to butcher the cows, how to cut up the cows. Wake up, stop thinking some things are too small for us to do. I, for one, would be doing all of it, but my goddamn land is tied up in court with some... Anyway, Timothy, thank you. Have a good afternoon. St. Lucians, work to make yourselves better, please. We are a nation of very bright people, very creative people, and we're not lazy people either. All right? But you all have to come together and decide what you want for yourselves. But to the people saying no to the cows, look at it a different way. The owner's going to make money. He should reimburse government by employing a few people, carry on a proper business, stop being a nuisance to people everywhere because you want your cows. Have a good day.
You too, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. 452-2979 is the number to call. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026 as we say hello. And good afternoon to you, Alisco. Bon après-midi. Good afternoon. Alisco. Alisco.
C'est mon fils Poleon, bonjour, comment il est là?
Oui, moi là, Saoudia.
Moi là, là, il y a beaucoup qui dit fâché tellement parce qu'il y a mené de Flavie fort. Massacre pour un petit homme qui est fâché quantité. Parce qu'il était de Flavie au choc avec mené fort. I mean, il a créé un problème à ce chemin fort. Les démocrates de mon raison, ils mènent vieux fort, c'est parce que ils ont plus de manière pour contrôler le vieux fort. Qu'est-ce que ça quoi?
Alice, comment on parle about Assousa, hein? Vous parlez de moi? Vous parlez de moi avant?
Oui.
Oui, moi parle
oui, madame.
Oui.
Moi, j'espère en commun. Bon, moi, je ne peux pas parler about the hotel that I built beach region. Moi, je commence à me dire, yo, est-ce que mon n'a parlé comme ça? Yo parle hotel la bill, eh bien, yo ka chile that mettre hôtel là pour un part of beach là, c'est lycée bagage ça là sur beach là.
Well, on Shaibai, you got
Qui ça va dire?
on Shaibai, you got the hotel la kay so ho because lani yon a building ki kay 10 stories high and lot ki kay 6 stories high. You kay di pour se moun ki ka weste la vigia, sa kay block yo. You can also di pour beach. Nou pa ni a Shai Beach an North la ko moun sa le epi amize koyo. Se SLT Beach la, kote moun hot Laclery, moun hot Marchand, moun hot Castry, avec différents places en Saint-Lucie ka ale, epi amize koyo. Le Noël, le jour de l'an, le holiday, un dimanche, SLT Beach la yon e, yo ka point pour faire un hotel. C'est ça, c'est moun ka ni a 3 kasman epi.
Même ces moun ça qui a dit ça. Yes, ça m'a oublié. Hôtel c'est un bail qui a créé ton Shai employment. Là, il y a un Shai c'est qui vous travaille ça.
Oui, mais nous pas pour garder pour me buy mon job c'est hôtel seulement. Il garder à côté c'est hôtel seulement nous pour garder pour buy mon employment. Là il y a un Shai l'autre bagay gouvernement ça fait en Saint-Lucie because tout à l'heure et c'est moun qui voulait venir faire business Saint-Lucie toujours voulait faire ça les beach là. Tout à l'heure nous pas kani pièce beach encore pour investor venir pour faire hôtel. Nous ni l'autre terre en Saint-Lucie côté c'est moun ça fait business. Alisco.
Well, gouvernement il faut faire assurer that you met des bails en place that si hôtel là bill moun pas kay payer d'accès pour beach là. Et comment dire, moi comment ça dit
mais Alisco côté fois ou l'autre Saint-Lucie mounit 3 kasman pour aller dans les beach là. Because c'est hôtel là yo me pillars là les beach là. Security guard vle goumen moun qui vle venir les beach là. Ou pas changer ça man.
Moi quand c'est comment ça fait mais moi jamais ni fait cette expérience comme parce que moi gado.
C'est pas expérience qu'on parle about. C'est pas expérience qu'on parle about. Nous allons parler about is déjà fait. Et moi si oui ou savent est déjà fait à l'ISCO. Pas dis moi pas une expérience là. Même si vous pas une expérience là. Ou quoi c'est pour sa vie à fait.
Moi attends moun parle about ça mais moi gado moins personne pas qu'à empêcher moi aller à ce pièce beach cette ici. À pièce là. OK parce que l'avion loi a dit beach là c'est pour simplicien enjoy. So personne va dire moi ma sala ce beach ça eh ben non, jamais. Na gourmet sécurité. C'est magie.
Ou ba me laisser avec tout.
Ah ouais, pour que ça pour aller sur beach là? C'est pas me pour l'ensemble. Moi enjoy comme sur beach là, mon gars dit moi ça va sur beach là.
Police a jamais arrêté au point.
Arrêté moi?
Est-ce police a jamais arrêté au point?
Non.
Non. Mais ou ka fa ko di ça ou ka fa ko di ça ba John et police a arrêté combien fois ou habitué avec ça ou pas mêlé. C'est comme
non.
OK.
Moi c'est un bon vogue mais moi ça tient pour ba John.
Mais un monde dit qu'on Alisco bava. C'est ça you dit là Alisco bava get lost. C'est ça you do. C'est ça you do oui.
Moun ça pas connaître rien about ça gadia.
Il pas connaît tout.
Il peut connaître moi mais il pas ça gadia.
OK.
Moi parler l'idée moi. N'a parler ça moi chiller tout ça moi voulais bon bail pour simplifier. Moi voulais un mauvais pour simplifier. OK? C'est mon nom si vous voulez vous comme train à bord hôtel. Quitter hôtel là venir pour mon jeune travail ou yo ça travail avec famille. Pas travail. So ou quoi les moun parler ou quoi c'est mon pareil bill hôtel là encore.
Akoto oui Alisco.
Est-ce que laissez-moi parler contre là. Est-ce que hôtel là pas bill?
I have Ali school because dan dele sou ka kwe sou arbay ou pan pou parler tout seul hein. L'année l'autre démarche ou ça fait et gouvernement ni pour koute ou. So parler tout seul, moi d'accord pour parler tout seul délai. Pas qu'à faire rien. Hein?
Action ni pour point. Gouvernement, li qui en place, SLP qui en place, SB mettre ba en place pour faire bail, primaire bail simplicien. Simplicien vote bail yo.
Moi ça veut dire moi ça veut dire venir avec bail politics là. Moi ça.
Non mais
vous pensez à aider comme moi? But let's go. Non, let's go so bail sérieux. Puis ou vote bail gouvernement. Ou électeur gouvernement. Ça pas menou pour quitter gouvernement faire ça vle ou pas d'accord. Si on est un manager, même si c'est manager, et qu'on pas aimer ça qu'a faire, ça pas menou prendre pour challenge li. So man yo ka faire accorder gouvernement yo met gouvernement en pouvoir, gouvernement veut faire ça, quitter gouvernement faire ça vle. Non. Ça c'est vieux kachil. Ça c'est vieux kachil.
Moi dis simplicien vote by SLP.
Kola, Alisco, ça pas rien pour faire Alisco. Ça pas rien pour faire UWP et puis SLP. Ça n'est pas pour faire beach là. C'est mon en chay moun kade, yonde moun kade yo pa vle. Dans moun kade yo vle. Ça pas rien pour faire SLP et UWP et yo vote by yo, pas ça. Tout ba exaucer moun sa dire c'est politics.
Moi ne ka parler reality.
OK, Alisco. Merci beaucoup.
Non,
merci. Nous sommes en l'autre call. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin on the air. Hello. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim, I heard is there nowhere in the north they could have secured these cows?
To my knowledge, no. In terms of space, no.
And you remember in the late 60s and 70s, you know how many people that got killed in Vieux-Fort by hitting cars?
No, but caller, if you
Can you remember that?
If you secure the cattle, I don't see them just emerging on the streets and the vehicles getting into contact with them and people are dying. If you properly secure them and you take care of the animal, I don't see a problem. Whether it's in Castries, whether it's in Soufrière, or whether it's in Vieux-Fort.
How do we know that the place is 100% secure?
I don't know if it is, caller. I'm just saying if the place is properly secured, there shouldn't be a problem. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Another thing is, this woman, where she in America, Canada, where she is, she find the only investment they could do in St. Lucia is with cows. That's the only investment they could do in what? Cows? Don't want to know what you're talking a lot of rubbish. Would she live where she is and come down and cultivate the cows? Would she do that? Would she live where she is there now and come down and cultivate cows? There's so much things they could do. There's no factories. There's fruits wasting all over the place. And they're not opening no factories, nothing to boost up the place. St. Lucia getting drinks from Barbados, from St. Vincent, all these places. There's a lot, some of these people, and you're wasting a lot, that Alice Coder, you're wasting too much time with these people because there's other people that want to get through to you and voice their opinions. And you're wasting a lot of time with this guy, Alice Co. Man, St. Lucians need to wake up, man.
That's your contribution, caller?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Calling from the UK. We certainly must accommodate all our calls. The Alice calls, the boss calls, you name it. We accommodate all of them. Good afternoon to you, Jante. Let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, we have Allison is speaking for her pockets. We have another saying she thinks that she's in it too much now. Another saying, how do we know that they are properly secured, referring to the cows. Another saying, Vieux-Fort have space for animals but not development. Another saying, well, caller, why didn't they put the new hotel in Viewfort instead of VG? Another saying, Tim, I'm happy to have the cows in the south. I might eat a stew soon. Moving to Facebook, we have another saying, that Alison Shaw woman should be ashamed of herself. Another saying, always muddying the facts. Another saying, Alison does not even know what she's talking about. Another saying, she wants to make a blank statement and refuses to make it a document of the house and expects us to believe her. Another saying, the cows miss the city. They are walking back to shock. Another saying, Alison, the house is not yours. That's just how, if this is how you're treating your home, don't come and try it here. Another saying over here on Facebook, in my opinion, schools, elderly homes, even the prison should be eating steak. Another saying, Viewfort cows have the habit of hopping pickups. Another saying, do these cows belong to the government or a particular individual? If it is a specific individual and he or she cannot control their cows, then what are they doing with them? He or she risks losing the cows to other owners because they are now further from cash trees. To the owner, don't have more than you can handle. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Shanti, for that update. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, some more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages. We'll be hearing from somebody who has cautioned taxi operators in St. Lucia associating or doing business with Uber. All that and more between now and when we conclude the broadcast. Wasco wishes to inform the public of scheduled maintenance to the raw water pipeline at Millet on Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 from 6 a.m. These works are necessary to facilitate the repair of ruptures on the raw water transmission line, estimated to be completed within 48 hours. During this period, water pressure and supply to customers from Millet to Cap Estate will be affected. Upon completion of these works, customers at higher elevations and at the end of the distribution line will experience additional delays. For information on water trucking, please contact Wasco's North Control Room at 457-3958, 457-3960, 451-9812, or 482-0052. Wasco apologizes to its valued customers for any inconvenience caused as they work to restore regular service as soon as possible.
The Consulate General of St. Lucia in New York presents Independence 47th Marketplace, featuring St. Lucian vendors and products. Friday, February 13th from 6 p.m. at the St. Lucia House on 438 East, 49th Street, Brooklyn, New York. Come see St. Lucia, come taste St. Lucia, come get a piece of St. Lucia. Admission absolutely free. Independent 47 Marketplace. For more information, contact the Consulate at 212-697-9360.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE certified MRI technology, and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique de Corps, because time is vital in health.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
At Caribbean Pastuche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastuche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastuche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastuche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
On Sunday, February 15th, experience bliss, eye candy drippings, and sugar-coated hotties. Welcome to Sunburn. The Candy Crush Saga. Sweet like candy, hot like the sun. Sunburnt. Come party with top-class DJs and Power 97.9 FM crew. On Sunday, February 15th from 3 p.m. Union Orchid Garden. Dress code, sugar and spice. Sunburnt is food inclusive. Early bird tickets $100, regular $150. Available at Power FM's office in VG. Sunburnt, the Candy Crush Saga. Live, laugh, brunch. Sunday, February 15th.
Valentine's Day is coming, and CPJ has everything you need to make the moment perfect.
And you can pair that moment with special wine deals from Yellowtail and San Telmo to Contender Cabernet.
Serve the cuts that will make the moment. Premium ribeye, tenderloin, and short ribs. Perfect for a cozy night in or a romantic dinner.
Plus, surprise them with CPJ's Love Bags, filled with selected wine, savory snacks, and sweet indulgences.
Some bags even include a golden heart, giving you and your loved one a dinner for two experience or shopping vouchers.
Only 50 Love Bags available. Once they're gone, they're gone.
This Valentine's, shop CPJ.
And put a little more love on the table.
So since we spoke last week, I had a meeting with the National Taxi Union, the minibus, the National Council for Public Transportation, and we discussed the situation as it relates to Uber coming in. I indicated to them then that our position, as expressed in a letter which I sent to Uber, was that they were not fulfilling our regulatory requirements for them to operate in St. Lucia, and that we pointed out to them what those regulatory requirements were. One, that they needed to, in our view, obtain a trade license before they can operate in St. Lucia. Two, that they needed to register the Inland Revenue Department for purposes of payment of taxes owed to the government by operating a business in St. Lucia. And thirdly, they were required to be certified under the Tourism Development Act. And we clearly indicated to the taxi union and all the interested parties that was the government of St. Lucia's position, and that we were willing to talk to Uber about their interest in St. Lucia. They expressed their views to us, and I'm sure the taxi union would have an opportunity to speak in the press and explain to them their position as the National Taxi Union. We met with Uber and we expressed those sentiments with Uber. And we indicated to them that in our view, they were operating illegally in St. Lucia. They had not met the requirements to operate in St. Lucia. And we indicated to them that we believe that they need to reset, that they could not continue to operate as they were operating. They promised us to have a follow-up meeting so they can discuss our concerns in greater details. We did ask them to suspend their operations in St. Lucia until they had cleared the way forward. And of course, that would be the subject of discussions. And of course, they meeting any required statutory requirements. We are waiting from them a date for our follow-up meeting and for us to be able to decide how we move forward. We are guided by the concerns of the National Taxi Union that the taxi sector as well for us is a strategic sector, and it is one that government has a particular interest in. Our tourism industry depends very heavily on the taxi sector as well, the movement of tourists around the island, and therefore we would want to be very clear that any player that comes into that space fulfill all the requirements set out by legislation. So at this point, we're waiting for a follow-up meeting and for us to have some clear indications as to, what exactly Uber would want to do. And so far as I have heard, they continue to offer their service in St. Lucia. And up to yesterday, I sent them a second letter reminding them that they are operating illegally in St. Lucia and that we should meet and to discuss this matter. We will be having a follow-up meeting with the National Taxi Union this week, and for they to sit with us and for us to come up with a combined approach to this matter.
But from the point of the National Taxi Union, there are two things we are going to do. The National Taxi Union, any taxi driver that is affiliated with us and they are members of the union, if anybody should find themselves in any kind of accident, God forbid, or any problems while operating under Uber, we will not be held liable and we will not cover such. Two, any member of the taxi union or certified taxi driver who's operating under Uber and we realize that, we will see that their disciplinary action be taken against them, because here we are. We're quite aware of what the government have told Uber. Uber is operating in St. Lucia as it stands illegally. And we will not allow our drivers and fellow St. Lucians to partake in an operation that is illegal. I know Uber believe we are a small island and we cannot stand. The lawyers are there and they said they will contact. I know they're supposed to get back to the Ministry of Tourism, in which I think they have not. But from our end, we are protecting our sector and the livelihood of our drivers. So at no time, the National Taxi Union will side with Uber or allow our members to operate under Uber without disciplinary action taken against them. Because we have made it clear, the leaders, we have taken that position, and individuals who choose to risk it, that is them. But we will not stop. Also, we're asking on the ministry, the two departments, Ministry of Transport and also the Security Minister, because what we've realized, we have information and we have to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's, because a lot of the P vehicles are coming to pick up at the guests would tell you they have an Uber coming. When you say taxi, they say they have an Uber coming. Now, any individual with a P vehicle who's operating taxi, it is illegal. And we will get the police to charge and fine them and let them feel the full brunt of the law. Because we cannot allow to make St. Lucia look like a lawless country. And in the event something happens, the first thing the guests will say, we took a taxi. Who's that taxi? We have come across that even by the cruise ship. Guests will come with guys out there hustling, and then when they lose something or they will tell you we take a taxi. Some of them might be lucky, they'll show a picture, and the person is not a registered taxi. And as we're saying, taxi drivers in St. Lucia who are certified carries a TX. Once they do not carry a TX with them, they are not certified taxi drivers.
You just heard there from the president of the National Taxi Union, Mr. Terry Valson, and before him, Tourism Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire. Dr. Hilaire speaking on Monday during the pre-cabinet press briefing, and Mr. Valson spoke during a contribution to NewsSpin last Friday. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello?
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Tim.
Good afternoon.
I am one of the happiest persons alive that they've taken these animals from shock.
But from the point of the National Taxi Union,
say to the government, bravo. But Tim, there's still questions that needs to be asked. At whose cost were these animals taken from shock? That cost was to who? Also, where they have these animals in Beaufort, who is paying for that land, or is it the owner's land? Is it taxpayers paying that bill? Tim, these are questions. We expecting good to happen, but we expecting to ensure, we expected that whatever happens, that the government will come with full transparency and say, this is what we did, this is how we did it, this is how we do it. Because Tim, we all know that the owner of the cows is a strong supporter of the Labour Party. And they're going to facilitate and ensure that they take care of this matter at the government's cost. But Tim, it's a cost to us. You know the amount of persons who have gone through, including my family, my brothers, who has been in accidents with those animals and had to go through their own pockets because they were third-party insurances and deal with that bill. And today, we further have to be contributing to tax to go and deal with those animals being stored in Beaufort. Now, Tim, I want to go a step further. And I want you to understand that I have no problems where they put the cows, But a few years ago, the horse track was built and they brought horses to Beaufort, and people in Beaufort were the ones taking care of it. The opposition, SLP at the time, said that the government was bringing horses and if that's the best they can do for people to be taken care of. Now they brought cows to Beaufort for the people of Beaufort to take care of. And Tim, I also think that you did injustice to the caller on Friday, on whatever day, that says about they bringing the cows to Beaufort and he feels that Beaufort is at a disadvantage. Because he said more than that. He asked about the feeding of those cows, where would they get grass, the water supply. He went a little further than just looking at it as the cattle being in Beaufort. So I think justice was not done to him by you playing a part of the clip. But nevertheless, that's how it is. Tim, let's go to VG area. Tim, I remember a few years ago, between 2017, 2019, sometime about, where a building was being constructed. If you come in from Castries, before you meet the Everest, the gas station, the Jamari gas station, there's a great building erected there. That building was built, and for some reason, the contractor, developer, whoever it was, built an additional floor that was not on the plan. Our licensing for the airport was in jeopardy at the time because of the height of that building. DCA had to step in and try to come to a compromise to see how best both of them could have coexisted, because they'd have taken the license away for the airport because that was a hazard because of the height of that building. Now, Tim, today we're going to the opposite side and we're building a building 10 stories high, which is far higher than what is built on the opposite side. And Tim, what I'm saying there, yesterday a guy tried a shot with you from DCA. He's a member of DCA, a staff of DCA, and he was playing like, he did his investigation. But Tim, we all know that he's a staff of DCA.
Yeah, but somebody sent me an information stating that, yes, the individual in question is an employee of the Development Control Authority.
Of course. And he went on the side there to do the investigation. That's why he has so much information. But Tim, let me just say this. Tim, when we put that building, Tim, the Labour Party came out with that word, transparency, in 1997. Accountability and transparency. Tim, lay the fact before persons. Because if the hotel that is being constructed will not be hindering the airport services or the airport's operations, come out and say that. Because I know clearly that if you go to DCA approval in principle. DCA has to go through so many different layers to ensure that whatever they're going to approve to you or for you, that it is something that is very able to happen. Sometimes they tell you they don't want the height, they don't want this, they don't want whatever. But if they need to go and look at all the causes and all the pros and the cons of that project. Did DCA do that before they granted principle of approval of principle? These are the questions we need to ask him. And the other one thing I'm asking, is it that the plan is to close the airport? Because the Labour Party has been dancing to that music for a very long time, that there are 2 airports in St. Lucia, that we don't need 2 airports because it's very costly to run the 2. Is it that we're going to put the hotel there and the hotel will be the reason to close the airport? So we want the government to come out and tell us exactly what it is. Tim, also, the other problem we have is, Tim, when the hotels are being constructed, a lot of work comes out of it. Yes, a lot of work comes out of it. But Tim, the amount of currency that's taken away from St. Lucia and goes overseas, well, does not come back to St. Lucia because most of those persons pay overseas in the first place. And what comes here is for food and staff and these kind of things. Tim, we need jobs. We need jobs. We also need persons to recreate. Tim, has Jack just changed? Is Jack a different person now? Because we were saying we didn't want Cabot because Cabot was this, what was that. Today we have that very same. Now let's we come from Cabot. Let's stop Rodney Bay for a little bit. Look at what is happening to the lady in Rodney Bay, on the side where the health hospital is being, the health hotel is being built. This lady is being kicked out. Where are the persons who are fighting against Jack? Tim, where is National Trust? Where is National Trust? I don't remember going to National Trust's funeral. Is National Trust dead? Tim, these are the questions we need to ask. Was it good for one person and bad for another? Because the Labour Party is coming to office, and everybody, all entities, everybody that used to matter when UWP was in power has died or has taken mumu tablets. They have gotten silent. Our country is being run like no opposition, and then you ask for the United Workers' Party to come and say something. Tim, we are the opposition now, not the United Workers' Party. The United Workers' Party has 1 seat in office. And those of us who are St. Lucians who feel they are patriotic and will ensure that St. Lucia remains in the hands of us, because we fight against a white man. We don't want a white man to run the country. But yet still, all these projects that are being sold to white people. Tim, I'm not racial in any way possible. I'm from the tourism industry. I do taxi. I make my living off of white persons, tourists when they come to the island. Majority of them are white persons. Most of the business I have done is through white persons. So I'm saying I'm not a racist. I am not. But I don't want us to use one tar brush when it's convenient to us and use another when it's convenient to another matter. Whatever UWP was treated by, SLP should be treated by that same standard. SLP will pass with things that UWP will not even dream. Just imagine if Alan Shastney was in office and he had brought those cows to Beaufort. Tim, what do you think would have happened? Tim, there would be an opera in Beaufort and people would be dancing. And Tim, we need to be careful in this country. Now, I want to move on to the taxi sector for a little bit, Tim, and I don't want to be too long. I heard Onesile. I heard him. Tim, I'm saying I do not trust anything that comes out of the minister's mouth because I've heard him say differently and I've seen him do differently. And I'm saying to National Taxi Council, Terry, I know you're trying, bro. I know you're trying. But I'm saying the disciplinary action you were thinking of, we need to be careful. We need to be careful because this very same ministry that is telling you that they do not support Uber is the very same ministry that tell you freedom of association. So members of your organization is free to associate with anybody. I do not support Uber.
But hold on there. The minister did not say that the government does not support Uber operating in St. Lucia. But he said that there's a right way to do it. You have to go through certain procedures and then a determination will be made in addition to speaking with the stakeholders. So the government has not made any pronouncement whether they're in support or against Uber operating in St. Lucia.
You are very correct, Tim. You are very correct. Yeah. They have never said whether they support it. But what I was saying was the very same ones that tell you that Uber is not operating legal, they cannot break in the law. They are not going to support you when you go and discipline your members and your members bring you to court. So I'm saying we need to speak to our members. We need to try to educate them and help them understand what we are fighting for. So we all are going to be singing one song. Because if we take that path of going and discipline members, then all we're doing, we dividing, and divided we will not stand. So let's try to stand unitedly, and let's talk to our members. Let's tell them the benefits, the pros, the cons, the whatever it may be. Let's speak to our members to ensure that our members understand the fight that we are fighting, that when we go forward as a union or as an organization, that we know that our members are to our back and they're working in solidarity first. Tim,
Okay,
I thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, sir. We are monitoring the T20 World Cup currently on the way in Sri Lanka and India. The West Indies played England earlier today, and they won that encounter. Just a summary of what transpired. England won the toss and decided to bowl. West Indies win by 30 runs to make it 2 wins from 2. England, chasing 197, stumbled to 166 all out off 19 overs. The West Indies 196 for 2 in 20 overs. Rutherford 76 in 42. Rashid 2 for 16. England in reply 166 in 19 overs. Curran 43 not out in 30 balls, and bowling for the West Indies, Moti 3 for 33. The West Indies top the group and face Nepal next on Sunday. England play Scotland on Saturday. What is happening in the chat room? Shanti, let's hear from you.
Well, Tim, starting off on YouTube, we have one saying Uber is operating illegally in St. Lucia, and we are communicating with them like St. Lucia is in the wrong. Another saying, Mr. Minister, I cannot buy your explanation. I cannot see any light of what you are saying. This is telling me Uber has been given the go-ahead. I don't buy that at all. Another saying, we are too small to fight with Uber. Another saying, you all in the taxi sector are fighting with one another. Another saying, some of us actually think these fellas told Uber to go ahead and now they have to cover to Uber because they violated their own rules. That's how it sounds. Another saying, Jack is on retirement, so-called jail. Moving to Facebook, we have, to own cows, you need your own pasture. You need your own land. If you don't, there is no reason to own cows at other people's expenses. These are people's lives. Another saying, it is cheaper if you have a chest freezer than a pasture. And another saying, I think we should give the Minister of Agriculture some credit for removing a hazardous situation off the roads of St. Lucia. Another saying, why aren't all parties at the table for this meeting? Another saying, Healer, I want to believe you, but I can't. Sorry. Another saying, Healer is a joke. Uber is not a traditional taxi service, so there is no reason why it should be required to fulfill requirements of a traditional taxi service. Another saying, so basically, if they do all of this, they will get to operate in St. Lucia. Another here saying, so the taxi guys have an issue with Uber and not the other ride-sharing companies available. To me, they serve the very same problem, if not a bigger one, that these guys are complaining about. Because anyone with a valid license and vehicle can register and pick up tourists whenever, wherever. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Ante, for the update. WhatsApp message, somebody says that Tim, Mr. Valsin, and others should know that there are plenty of us who are certified taxi operators because we did the course and were given a certificate. Doesn't that mean something? Is he saying that we must have a TX plate? He should bring this up with the ministry, who refuses to issue us with plates to operate. Some of us have our own business and do lots of online marketing. Like me, blame the ministry, not us. Over a year, I applied for a plate and I can't even get a call nor a message. I think they're even tired of seeing my face. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your messages. Somebody says, your last caller was all over the place. No basis for any of the points he brought about. And let's see. What are you saying via WhatsApp? Somebody says there, hi. So the white man operating Uber illegally in St. Lucia, as I've heard, is not dealt with or charged. But the little boat drivers that pay for each plate and they take a little chance after hours, pirating, they're looking for them to charge them. Hypocrite system or laws for some, not all. Who they know and the white man is safe. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Some more of your comments, and somebody says the pedestrian crossings need painting. Plus, there are uncovered or broken concrete slabs in town. This is a hazard. Let's see there. Some more of your messages there. Why is the minister taking these deep breaths? Is he nervous? And some more messages. Please bear with me, trying to go through as many of your messages as possible. So how is Uber breaking the law, Tim, and no one is being arrested? Funny. And another WhatsApp message. It says, Tim, to Ministry of Agriculture, Defense, the minister did say that the location in VA4 is secured by fence. Uber is still up. All right, let's take a call via WhatsApp. This is NewsSpin. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes,
good
sir.
John
Good afternoon to you.
Tim, yesterday I listened to Senator Alison Jean, and I find Ms. Jean to be in campaign mode even when she is in the Senate. Almost every time she's asked a question, like yesterday she was asked, what is the need for the amendment? She went into a tirade about the past UWP administration. And one of the things she brought up was the UWP gave somebody a contract for $7 million to bring COVID vaccines and stuff like that. The reason I point that one out is I see it on Facebook, I see it all over the place. They try to litigate that, and it's been discussed and explained by Alan Shastey, by Guy Joseph, by so many of the other people on the UWP side, especially Dominic Fede. Spider did a good job explaining it at one time on his show. Every country in the world, and Ms. Jean knows that better than most people, there were no responses, there were no formulas, there was no knowns, like Donald Rumsfeld said, it was all unknowns. Governments were scrambling all around the place to keep the people alive. United States went into operation under Trump, warp speed. Initially they said $10 billion, then it went up to double that, almost $18 or $19 billion. The Canadian government spent $359 billion. They said $90 billion of that was wasted. They'll never get it back. The COVID vaccines directly, $2.1 billion wasted. United States, the economy took a $16 trillion hit, $30 billion wasted. I'm saying these numbers to say that governments did not know what was happening. They were scared. People were scared. We were scared. Government was scared. There was something the world was dealing with. That does not justify throwing away money. But look at how Alan Shastey handled it differently to the Canadians or the Americans. The person who got the $7 million to procure vaccine for us, because United States, Canada, England, nobody wanted to give us on the vaccine. They were all keeping it for themselves, the big countries. Little countries like St. Lucia had to look for it somewhere. They secured the person who was going to get the vaccine for St. Lucia, gave up security. Let's like they give, like if you go in to take a loan, you can put up your land for surety or whatever. They have land in St. Lucia which is worth more than the $7 million. That's Alison Jean would not say that. If the government wants right now, they can confiscate that land and sell it if they're impatient to get the rest of the money. The person has paid some of the money back, and you can get some of that money back. These same people, if Shastey didn't do anything, sat down there, didn't take a chance, didn't secure vaccines, and tens of thousands of St. Lucians dropped dead, they would be litigating that too, saying he could have moved ahead and bought vaccines or secure vaccines or gone through India or gone through somebody like Barbados did, like Antigua did. Nobody had a playbook. Anybody who pretends now to be litigating that in the past, they're being disingenuous and they're playing politics with it. And Alison Jean needs to stop bringing that $7 million up, because it's been explained and she's just taking cheap shots when she does not want to answer the questions. She keeps looking backwards. Everything is between the 2016-2021 cycle of government in St. Lucia. That's where she finds the answers to everything that happened in St. Lucia. Somebody needs to ask Ms. Jean to count and realize from 1997 to now, there have been 7 elections. SLP has won 5 of those. UWP has won 2. Each time the UWP won is because the SLP was on the verge of destroying St. Lucia in a catastrophe, was about to happen. In 2006, we saw the fiasco. John Compton even had to come out of retirement to come and help save St. Lucia because the place was in a tailspin. Stevenson King became prime minister. He had to deal with the world financial crisis, unprecedented. Since 1929 was the one they had before that. Then came 2016. Kenny Anthony sat in front of television and said, we hit a roadblock, nobody wanted to lend us money. He and Philip J. Pierre bankrupted the country. Again, Chasney came in, the UWP had to come in to save the economy, save the country. They had a global pandemic. So both UWP administrations in the last 28, 29 years had to deal with world crisis. They came out of it better than the SLP, who didn't have anything to do with before that. And even Philip J. Pierre admitted when he came in that they could borrow again. The country wasn't more solvent than it was in 2016. People have to learn to be honest. Joe Biden, when he came into office, he gave President Trump, he said, yes, when they told him we wasted how many billions on the vaccines, he said he gave President Trump kudos for doing Operation Warp Speed and doing what he could to ensure more Americans didn't die. He gave his predecessor the kudos, saying, well, we didn't have all the answers. The man did what he had to do. I gave that to him. Kamala Harris did the same thing and said the president did what the president had to do. We do the opposite. We beat up, we look for points to beat up on instead of looking to the future. Allison's journey is to start looking forward and answering questions and telling solutions what the government is going to do going forward, not looking backwards to these 5 years all of a sudden. When the government gets in office, after 2 years, you own whatever the country is going through, you own it. The SLP has been in there for 4.5 years. They need to realize what's happening in St. Lucia is their problem, their issues. It's not the past Chasney administration's problems. The next thing I want to touch on quickly, in December, I went to the beach. The last time I was on the beach at VG was in December of last year, 2025. And I remember speaking with some of the gentlemen that were there and their wives, bathing, and we were all there in the afternoon, just before the sunset. And we said that area over there, it would be nice to put a park for St. Lucians, like a water park or a theme park, an arcade and vendors, and, for people who come here, the kids, and be able to enjoy that area. Because one of the gentlemen said, if you look at the whole Castries, Mon, like Clary, that entire area, there's a huge population of St. Lucia there. There isn't anything for them to really drive or walk down or take a 10-15 minute drive to enjoy. And we're saying, well, just adjacent to the beach, there are a good recreational facility of a kind that's even mini golf or putt-putt or whatever they call it. All that would be really nice to come and spend some afternoons, Sunday afternoons and stuff. So not knowing that there was going to be a hotel down there. And I grew up on that beach, going to that beach 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning with my father, exercising in the mornings and stuff like that. And I am torn between us needing hotels and saving for St. Lucians. I'm trying to figure out where else can St. Lucians go and enjoy the beach. You cannot park at the northern end. That's always crowded. And under the almond trees there, that's risky sometimes if you're alone. And I know that because I parked there a couple of years ago by myself and somebody tried to rob me. Luckily, I know how to defend myself. I was able to disarm him and had him and give him a couple, licks, a couple hits, and he ran away, But imagine you on the beach, there by yourself under the almond trees, close to the cemetery, and you're attacked right there, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, So everybody try to congregate on the other end down there. If they want people to move up on the beach, they have to provide security from morning to night when people are there, because that is a dangerous part of the beach. I was attacked there, and I'm 6'3", 200 pounds. And imagine somebody shorter or smaller and stuff like that, women going over there, and people come over there. So we need to try to, yes, we need development, but I'm not sure that putting, reserving that for St. Lucians is the right way to go. I don't think it is at all. Thank you.
Okay, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. The Briefcase is hosting a pop-up in Vieux-Fort Town Square on Saturday, 28th of February 2026, offering fast, stress-free help with passport and visa applications. They also assist with passport renewals, police records, U.S. visas, and business registration. No lines, no hassle, just expert support all in one place. You can also visit their main office on High Street, Castries, opposite the ID card office, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Special promotion, apply for a passport with the Briefcase for a chance to win a trip to Martinique aboard Express des Îles for Independence. Promotion ends on February 28th, 2026.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, cast in sand and plaster in sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
La Clinique du Corps leads the Caribbean in advanced MRI, aligned with globally recognized standards. Avoid overseas stress, delays, and cancelled scans. Reports in 24 to 48 hours. No translation, no overseas processing. Your doctor receives your imaging directly for seamless continuity of care. All major insurance accepted. Call 451-6559. Once again, 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. The WhatsApp number 721-9950.
On Sunday, February 15th, experience bliss, eye candy drippings, and sugar-coated hotties. Welcome to Sunburn.
Put your banana cause no me darling. The
Candy Crush Saga. Sweet like candy, hot like the sun. Sunburnt. Come party with top-class DJs and Power 97.9 FM crew. On Sunday, February 15th from 3 p.m. Union Orchid Garden. Dress code, sugar and spice. Sunburnt is food inclusive. Fully bird tickets $100, regular $150. Available at Power FM's office in VG. Sunburnt, the Candy Crush Saga. Live, laugh, brunch. Sunday, February 15th.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
Every day, St. Lucian women give everything to their families, communities, and dreams. Yet breast cancer still claims too many lives. Now, St. Lucia is making history. For the first time, state-of-the-art 3D mammography is available right here at home. Donated by the World Bank through the Health Sector Support Program, these advanced machines are a major step forward in universal health coverage, and they're free. Women 40 and older or younger, if at risk, can access this life-saving service. Visit your local wellness center for a referral. Early detection saves lives. Free mammograms, universal coverage. Your wellness center is your first step.
The Roadhouse experience awaits. Crave something real? Get ready to experience the ultimate destination for unforgettable memories. The Roadhouse experience. Feast your senses with exceptional service, all under one roof. From our classic restaurant and bar to our exclusive private nightclub, unwind at our elevated hookah bar. Gather in our versatile conference room for any event, or even shop at our variety store. Ditch the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Raj Roadhouse promises real vibes, real fun. Nestled in cul-de-sac along the Bexar Highway. Call us at 286-6249 for more information.
This is the most monitored doctrine in the world. In a bit, we'll take our final call. First, Wasco wishes to inform the public of scheduled maintenance to the raw water pipeline at Millet on Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026 from 6 o'clock in the morning. These works are necessary to facilitate the repair of ruptures on the raw water transmission line, estimated to be completed within 48 hours. During this period, water pressure and the supply to customers from Millet to Cap Estate will be affected. Upon completion of these works, customers at higher elevations and at the end of the distribution line will experience additional delays. For information on water trucking, please contact Wasco's North Control Room at 457-3958, 457-3960, 451-9812, or 482-0052. Wasco apologizes to its valued customers for any inconvenience caused as they work to restore regular service as soon as possible. Final update from you, Shanti. Let's find out what is happening, or what has happened, what has been said in the chat rooms.
Well, Tim, starting off on YouTube again, we have a question. Is St. Lucia too small for taxi or transport competition? Just asking. Another saying, yes, Tim, it is hard to get a taxi plate. It's easier to get a needle in a bag of hay. Another saying, I'm listening to NewsSpin and I'm shaking my head. I cannot understand why one wants to own but does not own enough land to secure cows on their own property. This is beyond my understanding. Another saying, caller, all we have to do is be patriotic and simply tell the government via petition we do not need hotels on all of our beaches. Another saying, make the taxi licenses cheaper so we will have many more taxis. Let's keep it St. Lucian. We are a small island. We can handle it if licenses are easier to acquire. Or else, go ahead, Uber. Moving to Facebook, we have one saying, whether red or yellow, it is truly hard to please St. Lucians. Another saying, why the Ministry of Agriculture moved the cows and not the owner if they know who he is? If Shas did not secure those vaccines, Allison and all her red colleagues would have been dead from COVID. But every day they are on Shas's back for vaccine money. They know very well that more than half of that money has been received according to their PM. Another saying, Alessandra is biased, and furthermore, it's no longer 7 million because some of the money has been refunded to St. Lucia and she's not saying that. How many COVID deaths did we have from July of 2021 after Philip J. Pierre took over? Another saying, I am enjoying the myopic, nonsensical narrative I'm hearing and realize that if the flubber keeps it up, we'll have an even bigger win for the next general election, which is almost 5 years away. Another saying, this deputy president of the Senate, I heard him for a few seconds for the first time, and I think he should be appointed president. If he is, I am convinced that he will put the rest of the vaccine money that these government ministers keep lying about. But I know they will not make him president because he does not toe their line, If anything, they may even sack him as deputy. And finally, another saying, but Philip J. Pierre admitted in a New York gathering that he has received a vaccine money, and yet still the wicked SLP supporters are still bringing it up. A bunch of hypocrites.
Thank you so much, Ante, for that update. Some of your WhatsApp messages. Tim, how does this plan for new tourist resort at VG affect SMC, which playing field is in close proximity? Will it be a case where activities on this field have to be curtailed so not to disturb the occupants of the resort? Will access to the field be redirected? Asking for my son. Here's hoping the authorities will provide you with that response, ma'am. Another one says there via WhatsApp, I'm happy the cows are gone. I do hope it's at the owner's expense because over the years, they have been the ones enjoying the returns on the cows. Therefore, again, getting the end of the stick. No solid development. And another WhatsApp message. Somebody says that, Tim, this man will lose a lot of cows in V4. One, because of the location, and second, because of thieves. Let's see there. Some more WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, the only positive thing I can see coming out of the hotel being built at VG Beach is that it will protect some buildings from strong winds and high seas and floods. So no punishment for Uber breaking the law or operating without a license. And another comment, somebody says there, Alison Jean needs to tell more about the $80 million for the Darren Sammy cricket ground. Another WhatsApp message. Tim, it says that this caller is the NewsSpin caller of the year for this honesty. Bravo to him. Another comment. And can you kindly invite the accountant who explain the financials regarding the CIP on news on another program, please? Okay, let's see there. Some more comments. Going to go through as many as possible. Why is it the responsibility of the government to secure space for cow owners? Make it make sense for me, please. Therefore, I should buy a few cows and let them loose. Stop playing politics and hold people responsible for their lawlessness. Shaking my head. And let's see. Another WhatsApp message. It says there, why is it the responsibility of government to relocate cattle? Shouldn't the owner be held liable for any damage that the cows make? The cows should have been impounded and the owner given a period of time to correct the problem or lose them. Another one says via WhatsApp, Tim, the moose does not belong to the said individual. Only there are several owners. And the person continues, Wasco, your apologies are not accepted because it's 10 days now and there is no water in Grand Riviere. Keep your apologies for the unforeseen future when there will be water in abundance in our taps. Give people what they pay for. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. It says they do the same way they can secure the cows in V4. Why wouldn't they secure them in Castries too instead of having them on the streets? Isn't Castries the capital of St. Lucia? So investment is for Castries and cows are for V4? Oh, I understand. Another WhatsApp message, and it says there, good day, I think V4 is the best place for the cows. There is more space and more grass for grazing. And another comment, this person says, Tim, can you ask Alisco his number for me, please? Tell him it's Tony. All right, we'll try to see if we could get you that information. Let's see there. Another WhatsApp message. It says there, Tim, why VA4? Why couldn't they secure them in Castries? They are using the virgin grounds of VA4, which can be used for any investment. They fought against these investments and gave us cows. Person continues, who screwed up the dairy farm? This same government. Lady, you are missing the point. If the transfer of the cows was an investment, no one would complain. These cows transfer is not an investment. Wake up, lady. Okay, we will take a final call. If you care to call right now, we'll facilitate that call. And then we'll have our NewsSpin question of the day right now. It says there, how satisfied are you with government's handling of your housing needs? How satisfied are you with government's handling of your housing needs? The NewsSpin question of the day In a bit, we'll have the NewsSpin news of the day, but we have our final call. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hey, Timothy boy. I am so lucky to get this call.
Final call. Go ahead, sir.
No, all right. So basically, long story short, right? I'm a frequent user of the beach. I exercise or whatnot have you, and I remember that one time, that exact location where they intend to build a hotel, I was privy, and I think Dr. Lewis at the time was there. And he and he could correct me if I'm wrong tomorrow, there were a number of turtles coming out from that area, and we had to move them from the road and send them back to the seawater in the exact location where they intend to send, where the turtles were coming out. So I'm thinking to myself, other than what all the other callers said and they made an issue out of, that is a major priority, and we should take that into consideration as well. You understand?
Yes.
Because there were literally hundreds of small turtles, so we had to get buckets or whatnot, put them inside the, and send them back to the water because they were attracted to the lights from the road. So I felt the need to say that because, yes, development is good, but you have to take into consideration all aspects of what, affects us as people of St. Lucia. So forget a hotel, as far as I'm concerned, and focus on us as a people and our, you understand what I'm saying, Timothy,
yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I felt the need to say that. And again, I think Dr. Lewis, if he's listening, he could call tomorrow and confirm. He doesn't know me, but the two of us around that general area were moving the turtles from the road and sending them back to the water. So I felt the need to say that. And great show. Love it.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. We now turn our attention to our NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, Barbados Prime Minister Mia Motley forecast suggests is on course for a third consecutive term in office as Bajans vote today. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Motley forecast suggests is on course for a third consecutive term in office as Bajans vote today. So Barbadians are voting for a new government. It's either the Barbados Labour Party of Mia Motley, or you have the Democratic Labour Party contesting elections in Barbados. So the results should be known later this evening, probably into the wee hours of the morning. And that's the program. Yet another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the NewsSpin channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.